What's up, everybody? Today I'm here to introduce our guest for today, Ashton Larson. So Ashton is a 2023 LSU commit, and he's a left-handed hitter and an outfielder. He's committed since freshman year, been committed to LSU, and overall he's awesome. We kept in touch for a couple months now trying to find a date to film, and last night we finally got it done. This is a great episode. We talk a little bit about NIL deals, we talk a little bit about his commitment, we talk about Team USA, and we do some rapid fire about MLB free agency. Be sure to check it out and like, subscribe, comment, tell us who you guys want on next, and most importantly, have a happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thankful for all you guys watching, and we'll see you guys on another Batter's Eye podcast coming next week. Thank you. All right, yeah. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Batter's Eye. It's been a while since we've really recorded, but you guys saw us on Monday last week. But we got a different guest. We got Max. Take a second, talk about yourself. Tell us, who you are and why you're here.
Name's Ashton Larson. I'm from Kansas City. I'm committed to LSU for college, and I'm playing for USA Prime in the summer, and just getting ready to go in the off season. And you guys invited me on, and I appreciate it. And ready to go.
Yeah, of course, Max. I know, there's a couple things we want to ask, but yeah.
Great to have you on. Like Aiden said, we haven't done that many podcasts for a while, so we're really happy to be able to talk to you. And first, to start off with the LSU commitment, and if you could walk us through what that was like, what the process was like, why LSU, what do you like about the culture there, and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. So I committed the summer of my freshman year under Coach Maneri, and Coach Kane was the recruiting coordinator. And that kind of happened. So first of all, it was my goal to go to LSU when I was 11 years old. My mentor, my brother, is Alex Lang. And he's not my brother, but he's like a brother to me. And he was pitched for LSU. He was drafted 30th overall in 2017. He's in the big leagues with the Tigers right now as a reliever. But I kind of met him when he was a freshman there. And I got to go watch him pitch at the box, and I kind of fell in love with that environment and everything about it. So I wrote down when I was 11 years old, I wanted to go play for LSU. And so obviously worked at it, kept going, kept getting better. And when I was 15, I was really kind of blowing up on the scene, or whatever you want to call it, and continued to develop and get better. And so ended up with offers from most of the SEC West, which is where I wanted to go. I wanted to stay kind of in that area and play in the SEC. And so I had offers from LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, A&M, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, all those schools, and kind of wanted to take my time and make sure LSU was the right school for me, or if it was a different school that was right for me. And I really felt comfortable with Coach Maneri committing under a legend and being able to go play for a program that has such a great history and such a great track record of developing players into Major League Baseball players, into first round or high level draft picks that continue to get better. And I really felt that was the best school for me, and I decided to commit, I think, July of my freshman year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I feel like especially kids committing in their freshman year, I feel like maybe it just the weights lifted off of them, and now they can focus on really getting better and their high school ball. So I mean, and then as you become a senior and you haven't committed yet anywhere, maybe nerves come in, or you get anxiety, or I know people that they decommitted and they strove to commit to a better school, and then didn't work out for them, and they've lost all their offers. So I'm glad that committed early at LSU. It's a great school, and can't wait to watch you play there in the future. But Aiden, what you want
to?
Yeah. I mean, I know, obviously I keep in touch with you. I know you were there when they beat Bama. Just talk about, you said something about the atmosphere there, but have you seen something, any bigger than that that week you were there?
No, man, that was crazy. That was awesome. So real quick, I wanted to say too that obviously Coach Johnson has taken over that program. Coach Jay Johnson and Coach Josh Jordan, his recording core now, and that process was a really smooth transition. I wanted to make sure that it was a good fit with the next coaching process, or the new coaching staff, and I felt like it was, and that's been great. I just wanted to clear that up too, that I have a great relationship with them, and that's been awesome. But yeah, the atmosphere, man, is unbelievable. That official visit was awesome. Getting to be there at that game was nuts. I saw a thing, it was like 2 earthquakes during that game. So that was really cool, man. The fans down in Baton Rouge are unbelievable. There's nothing like it. And I'm just excited to get down there and be able to be another one of those guys that they hopefully fall in love with, right? And just put on a show for them. And I think they're a very high expectation fan base. And I think Derek Jeter's got a quote that says, "Your expectation is my inspiration." So it's great motivation. So I'm excited to go down there and help live up to the expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, adding on to, I don't know what you can necessarily talk about, like NILs. Like, I've never like asked anyone about this, so I could cut stuff out if you can't talk about it. But what was the like, if you have signed the NIL or like been going through that process, what's that like? Because a lot of people don't even know what they are. And, I'm still trying to see like what the process is like, because not many people have really been through that yet.
Yeah, man. So I think it's obviously a complicated and very new process for sure. And especially on the high school level, it's like on a state by state basis, because NCAA has always said it's legal. And so for colleges, it's different. But on the high school level, it's up to the state whether or not they're going to allow NILs for high school athletes. And so you really have to make sure that you are following all of the rules and guidelines set to be or sign an NIL or whatever you want to call it and be a part of that. You really have to fall within those guidelines. So I think that's really important. That's the first thing, and make sure that you're following everything with the rules that are set. And LSU as a whole, I feel like there's, at least for us, I've sat down and talked with Coach Johnson. I have not signed an NIL like as part of my scholarship at all. My scholarship is athletic and an academic mixed together, and when you combine those two, I mean, it's a very, very high number, and something where I will not have to pay a lot of money, if any at all, to go to LSU with that alone. So I have not signed an NIL like LSU as part of committing, as like to commit there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It really has just been my athletic and my academic combined together to get me to a spot where it's very comfortable for my family and I to go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that makes sense. I just have no idea about any of that process. And,
right.
Obviously I know as a player, I'd assume, everyone has a little more knowledge than I do, at least at this point. And that's what I'm looking to learn about. But,
right. No. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely very new and definitely a complicated process. Obviously, going to LSU, there's about as good opportunities as any, with it being the fan base there, and they're incredibly invested. And once I'm there, I feel like I'll understand it, or more opportunities will be there, obviously following under the guidelines and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a high school athlete, it's not something I've done a whole lot of. I just am looking to understand the process more, have a bit more guidance under it. Again, it is very new and complicated for everyone, so.
Yeah.
We talked to a lot of like the older guys that like college and minor leaguers that come on the podcast, and they're kind of jealous of you guys because they weren't able to go through this process with the NIL deals. But it's great that I think it's about time that college players finally get paid for, with all the money that they bring to the school and the program. That I'm glad that these new wave of players, I think it also inspires the younger generations to try even more to play baseball in college because of these NIL deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's a great thing. Obviously, I think it's something that is very new, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, or the impacts, like both positive and negative, that I'll have. But I think it's a good thing that players will have the opportunity to earn their keep or their worth in college. I think that's a cool and different new thing that's going on for sure.
Yeah. And so there's something I wanted to kind of segueing off the NIL and all this image and likeliness, like what social media obviously has taken things to a whole different level in so many like just aspects in life, but baseball too. I mean, you could go on Twitter or Instagram and look up baseball, and you could probably see thousands of videos and sit there for hours and not realize it because you're just sitting there immersed in your phone. What do you think that's, what changes are coming to the game? I guess not necessarily to the rules in the game of baseball itself, but the outside aspect of it, somewhat like commitment and all these other things that, might affect the game and are already affecting the game, especially if you've seen it, among other guys in your class or yourself or, anything like that.
So do you just mean like the way social media is impacting like people or baseball, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah, in the baseball world, I think in a way, like somewhat with like, commitment and like the way like people are committing to schools and being recruited and
okay. Yeah, I got you. So I think that social media is really good right now for baseball, just because I think it's helping to grow the game, keeping the game young, adding new fans, new people who have fallen in love with the game of baseball through social media. And I think that's an unbelievably amazing thing, right? I think the game needs to keep growing and keep not getting younger, but having younger fans obviously fall in love with baseball. And so I think social media, I think there's some awesome people that like you guys that are creating content right now that are helping people connect with younger players, older players, current players, to help fall in love with baseball and grow the game. And so I think from that perspective, social media is an unbelievable thing. I think in terms of wanting to commit early so you can have a social media post, I think that's definitely unwise. If that's your motivations or intentions, is to do it for cloud or for that euphoria or that sense of validation. I think that when you commit to a college, you want it to be your first commitment and your last commitment, right? Because I think you want to do your due diligence and your research to make sure that the school that you commit to is the right fit for you, that you have a great relationship with the coaching staff, that you think that the campus is a fit, that the education is a fit, that your grades will be where they need to be. I think all those factors you need to take into account, and I think social media should have almost zero impact on that at all from that perspective. But I think social media is something that is a primarily positive thing, but you just need to make sure that you're doing everything that's like the right way to do things. You just need to make sure that you take it with a grain of salt, right? You don't let social media impact your decisions at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. And I think you see it more nowadays with some of the guys that go into, committing and going into this draft process with like hundreds of thousands of followers and, their ego getting overinflated by people on social media or the negative aspect of it where everyone's, in their comments saying they're overrated and hating on them, which is, nothing. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that's definitely an interesting thing that the coverage for high school youth baseball is so much more of a spotlight. Like you guys doing podcasts with high school kids, which I think is awesome. It's great for us. It's great for you guys. The YouTube channels like Youth Prospects and those guys, I mean, it's definitely a different thing, right? I mean, kids are obviously growing huge followings and growing their brand at a young age. And I think that there's positives and negatives with that. I think still the most important thing is your play on the field is going to be the priority forever, especially once you actually get onto a college campus, once you get or into professional baseball, right? The play on the field is going to speak for itself. So all this other stuff is extra. It can be positive or negative depending on how you use it. And I think that it's a cool and different opportunity, especially to be able to use it for a positive. But I think the play on the field is going to be always the equalizer, or what matters most by far, not even close.
Yeah.
It's a great response. I totally agree. And I think that, I know some I've heard stories of kids like getting their commitments taken away because of also like stuff they post on social media and, they said thing that they shouldn't have said or whatever. And I think I know we the big followings, like what Ian said, it could get to people's heads, but also I think it also, like I said before, inspires kids to want to become good. Like they want to put themselves out there. They want to, show everyone how good they are. And also it helps you reach more coaches and reach more players. And I'm sure for your recruitment process, coaches like you were posting videos, or whatever. And I just think it's great because like I've done it also, and it's helped me get into contact. But at the same time, like what Aiden said, the negative aspects are also pretty bad. And there's no really good way to segue into this, but we don't want to take too much of your time. But I want to talk about your experiences with the USA Baseball, and basically like how was that? If you could share some like your favorite memories, or just how does it feel representing the United States?
Yeah, man. Getting to wear the USA across your chest is one of the greatest honors you could ever have. Like being an American, you feel so prideful, and the chance to get to represent your country on foreign soil is different, man. Like it's not an opportunity a lot of people get to have. It's definitely not something that you take lightly at all. And it's like a dream. I mean, I got to go play in Taiwan and play in front of 13,000 people and win a gold medal. I mean, that was absolutely unbelievable. I remember getting to pitch in front of like 5,000 people against Chinese Taipei, and then I got to I think I hit a single or a double against Korea at those stadiums. And so getting to do that at a young age was amazing, and the way USA Baseball does it, I think is awesome at that age. And it was definitely a great opportunity for me to be on my own as well, because the way that works at the young age is you're with a roommate and you're with a team. So like there's not a whole lot of contact with your parents. It definitely allows you to grow up and mature at a younger age to make sure that you are ready to compete at that level at a young age. And I think that really helps prepare you as you get older and grow into a more mature player. I think that starting that young was an awesome opportunity for me. And then obviously winning the gold medal and playing as a team was absolutely unbelievable. So the lessons that I learned and matured as a player and a person was absolutely amazing, and couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, I mean, not better said, not a better response that you could have imagined. And I agree with you in a way that from other people that we've had on that have played for younger USA teams, or in the past have played for the USA 18U teams as well. And, they share the same experiences, that it's kind of just matured them and molded them more into who they want to become in the future. So I completely understand that in a way, even though, I'm never going to experience it. But the way that it's been said, you can kind of imagine what it's like. And it seems nothing short of one of the best experiences, especially a kid could experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a very cool thing. And I think going through the trials process is obviously very like rigorous to the competition. And I think doing that at a young age, 12U, 15U, 18U, and the camps in between, I think that's also another thing that helps as well. I mean, it's a very short list of people that have been on those teams, and it's an honor to have been on one of them. And yeah, I mean, I think it's for any youth ball player out there that is watching us or whatever, I think going and trying out for that 12U team is definitely something that I would recommend. And then to continue being that, going through those processes is awesome. I mean, because again, representing Team USA on foreign soil doesn't get much better than that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's it just sounds awesome. And to see you guys, win a gold medal, and it happens a lot. And USA, obviously, they do have one of the more dominant younger teams, and a lot of people kind of don't. It's baseball's evolving into a world sport too, but the USA still definitely does show a lot of, come with a lot of good players, and it's awesome to see, guys that not many people knew before turn into these household names after they do something great for their country. A lot of people saw it this year with they won the trifecta. They won all medals. I think they got the 12U, 15U, and 18U. So definitely a great thing for the country and for the game of baseball. It gets younger and younger.
For sure.
Yeah. And so with that kind of concludes the serious part of the question. So now we get into our segment we do with everybody. It's called we call it rapid fire. So today we're going rapid fire free agency predictions. It's MLB off season time. Okay. We still got big names on the market. So I'm gonna save. So we're Yankee fans from New York, so we're gonna save Judge for last. Build some suspense. Let's start with crosstown rival, stud pitcher Jacob degrom. Have a landing spot for him?
I think I saw somewhere that he really likes Texas, and I think that would be, if I were to guess. I mean, I guess I'd say the Rangers from what I've seen. I think that if he wants to go there and they pay him, I think that'd be where he ends up. If I were to guess, I don't know.
Max?
Oh, I agree with that. If the Rangers get some pitching, they're going to be scary, man.
Yeah.
But I did hear the Yankees just asked for DeGrom's medicals. So all my friends that are Mets fans are kind of freaking out about the idea that DeGrom's a Yankee. I mean, that would be crazy.
That'll be crazy.
That'd be nice.
Now we go over to Houston. Cy Young Award winner, comeback player of the year winner, Justin Verlander. He's hitting the open market. What do we think here?
I don't think he's obviously done it all or falling off, obviously, from the year he's just had. But I think he's kind of towards the end of his career. I think he probably will stay in Houston, probably finish it off there, especially with what they've got going on there. I don't think they're planning on slowing down at all. So if I were to guess, I'd say he stays in Houston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. I mean, just put up like one of his best seasons, and they're gonna pay him. They won a World Series, might as well.
Right. By the way, Ashton, what's your favorite team?
I was born in Lansing, Michigan, and so I've always been a huge Tigers fan my whole life. So favorite team has always been the Tigers. Grew up watching them. They were really, really good when I was younger. They won, I can't even remember how many straight. They won pretty much. They were in the playoffs every year when I was a little kid. So it was always fun to watch them play. The guys that came out of there were ridiculous, like Miguel Cabrera, Verlander, Price, Scherzer, Porcello, JD Martinez. All those guys were so much fun to watch as a little kid. Maguila Ordonez, and then my favorite player when I was little, because I wanted to be a catcher, was Pudge Rodriguez. So all those guys are stars to me, man, and they were stars. And Detroit Tigers are my favorite.
It's a good pick. I like the Tigers. Underrated team. I thought they were going to do a lot better this year, but then hobby bias kind of happened.
Yeah, man. It's crazy too because Alex Lang is actually now with the Tigers too. So watched a lot of those games, man. And I think they're young. I think they're gonna be really good coming up. So I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch those guys and watch Alex continue to keep going and keep shoving. So I'm excited for them.
Shout out Alex Lang. We'll be tuning. We'll be watching that too. I'll be watching that now. Got an eye to keep on. Definitely.
This might be a hot take a little bit, but I am not a fan of Comerica Park at all. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't like the way it looks. Maybe the fences. Maybe I'm so used to the short fences at Yankee Stadium, but I don't know. There's just something about it where it seems kind of bland in my opinion.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a big park for sure. It's definitely leans towards the pitchers, but I mean, growing up going to games there, it was always a great experience. Like the Ferris wheel they have over like in the outfield is awesome. And I mean, for like a young fan, I think it's an awesome stadium. Obviously, it's tough to get it out of there in that right center gap, but I've always enjoyed the park. I mean, it definitely is one of the bigger ones. So if you're looking to see a lot of home runs or runs in general, it's probably not the best place to watch a game in terms of that. But I've always enjoyed the park.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees play on a pretty small ballpark, so we got to adjust when they're on the road.
Yes.
Is what it is. So now I'll go with three more guys. So we'll go into the shortstop market. Got Carlos Correa opted out of his deal with the Twins. Where are we looking on Carlos Correa? Had a good season.
Yeah, man, I'm not sure about that one at all, honestly. Maybe he goes to the Dodgers. I think that would be interesting, obviously, because LA is not the biggest Correa fan. I'm sure he goes to a big market, probably warmer weather team. So I guess the bland generic answer for every rumor ever is the Dodgers, right? But I could definitely see, or maybe he ends up there. I don't know. But if I were to guess right now, I'd say Dodgers.
Yeah. I liked Orioles before free agency really started, but I'm leaning towards LA too. I think that's it. That's just how it's gonna unfold for him, Max.
I mean, career doesn't really interest me that much. I don't know. I think maybe the Mets. I know the Mets are looking at Trey Turner, obviously, who I think we should talk about.
That was gonna be my next guy.
Yeah. Turner's. I think because Turner's on the market, I think Correa is kind of flew under people's radars and not being talked about a lot. But he does have a lot of proof. He didn't really have the greatest year last year. I mean, he picked it up near the end, but I don't know, man. He's a great player though.
Yeah, I think we'll see. That'll be an interesting deal. I think Turner signs first. I think he goes to Seattle. I could see Seattle getting him, locking him up long term, like 10 years, 250 plus million, something like that, like a massive deal. I mean, he's only like 27.
He's gonna get more than 25.
So possibly over 30 mil a year.
Maybe.
I think it could be near that ballpark. I think it's with Seattle. I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
I think you'll already guess. I've seen some stuff that he might end up in Philly. I think that Philadelphia is a really young team with some great leadership. I actually get to hit with Alec Boehm in the off season. I train a lot down in Houston, and so getting to hit with him and see like how he talks about the team and stuff like that. I think that Trey Turner would be an awesome addition. I think from what I've seen that he might go to Philly. I think that they might make another push and try to win the whole thing this year or in the coming years, right? Mm-hmm. So I think if I were to guess, maybe Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good guess.
Yes.
We might need to get down in that. We might need to get down there in the off season. Hit with Alec Boehm.
Yeah, man, that's a cool opportunity. There's some great guys down there that they've graciously allowed me to train with them and hit with them and kind of allowed me in their circle. But no, there's some really good dudes down there. Like on the pitching side, like Shane Baz, Cody Hoyer, and then the hitting side, Boehm, Josh Smith, Grayson Janista is down there. Isaac Pacheco's with the minor leagues with the Tigers, and just some great guys down there. Kevin Poppy and Jeremy Eisenhower, the hitting guy down there. They do an unbelievable job, and so yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So best for last here. I mean, Aaron Judge, the MVP. Can list his accolades, but it'll take a while. I'd like to, since I'm a Yankee fan, but we'll keep it quick here with the introduction. Where do you think he's going before I put my take on it?
I think he stays in New York, man. I think he stays with the Yankees for sure. I guess I'm not sure, but I think Yankees. I think that the culture he's built there, the fans have embraced him. He's been the guy pretty much since he's been up. I say he stays in New York. I can't see them not having him back, especially after the year he just had. I think they'll pay him. I think that he'll end up staying there.
Mm-hmm. Max.
I totally agree. I think not only Judge wants. I think Judge in his mind really he's not going anywhere but the Yankees. He's just kind of acting like he's open to all teams just so the Yankees give him more money, which he has every right to do so because he deserved it. I just think if Judge ends up going to the Dodgers or the Giants, the Yankees not only are they going to lose like an amazing player, I think they're going to lose so much money in general and just like in faith in the management and like how can you get rid of your star player? And Judge, like, I mean, you've been with me to the stadium. Like he's not only just loved as a player, he's loved as a person.
Yeah.
The city embraces him. He stands for everything. He's respectful. He's a leader. And I think he should be named captain as well.
Yeah. I mean, should be like, I don't even, the deal should be a lot of money.
Or forget, he was rated number 4th on the World's Sexiest Man list. He's number 4 for this year.
Extra $10 million.
Yeah, that's
Contract. Beat out Stanton?
I don't know. Dan we're over there.
This is a conversation we could have a different time. I think Judge stays. I would hope he stays. I don't want him to go to San Fran, but I guess I could see a world where it happens. I mean, it was hard to go to the stadium and watch Yankee fans boo Aaron Judge after what he did. So if he goes, I would understand why in a way after what just happened, but I can't see a world where he wins MVP and leaves whatever the Yankees are offering him to go to San Fran or LA. So I also think he sticks with the Yankees. And on that note, since that's a very good note to end this podcast on, I think we're gonna end there because I don't want to think about a possibility where Judge is in a Yankee next year. But thank you so much, Asher, for coming on. It was a great time to have you. I'm not trying to keep you for too long. I know Max also has school tomorrow, so can't keep him for too long either. But we'll be out tomorrow. It's Tuesday, so we'll see you guys on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Everyone have a good holidays, and we'll see you guys back on Monday for another episode. Anything else you guys want to say? All right.
No, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone. So, except for the off season, but thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Thank you.